Hey yo, sleep. Sound them horns. Guard the Grill boxing, man. Y'all know how we do with Guard the Grill, man. Left field as usual. No, man, I'm just in a little basketball mode right now. The NBA is a little bit exciting. You know, you got New York, D-Rose out in Chi-Town doing this thing. The Beatles, the Heatles, I mean, LeBron and them. You know, you got the best player in the planet, my dude, Kobe Bryant, in the purple and gold. But we ain't here to talk about that. This is Guard the Grill Boxing, radio.com. And all that other social media stuff, the Facebooks, the Twitters. Where else, man? Are we in LinkedIn? We ain't in LinkedIn, we'll be there. But it's Guard the Grill Boxing. Y'all know the place. Y'all definitely know the face. Every week is promised, man. I'm back on my gristle, holding this here boxing thing down. I want to be contradictory to my last video about not doing anything to help preserve the best sport in the world, and that's the sport of the sweet science. Let me give a shout real quick. Rada Da, Big Mike, my big homie Docs, BJ Murray, the volley boy. Oh, I can't forget the doctor, Sleep E. Speaking of the doctor, you know, he got a new song out, Detox. It's finally looked like it's ready to come out. I need a doctor, I'm feeling it. It dawned on me. Although Dre is rhyming like Eminem, because, you know, M wrote the verse, but it grabbed me. But let's get into this thing here. Oh, the papers. Shout out to my dude, Rand from YGYGB.com. You know, Rand always told me, I don't know how this would apply to me, because I keep my hands moving. I'm never really stationary, but he said always keep papers in your hand that look important. These are blank sheets of paper. There's no stats, no information here. I don't prep. Everything off the top of the dome. I'm from the old school, when, you know, you jumped into a freestyle cipher and you really freestyle. Not like how they do now, you know, reciting written rhymes, that is. You know, this is all freestyle. This boxing stuff is embedded in me. So I was going to do the top 5 all-time Puerto Rican list today. Like I did on about 15, 16 shows ago. Top 5 Mexico list. Top 5 Mexican fighters of all time. I was going to do that this weekend, but the producer, you know, told me, and rightfully so, that I got to give last Saturday night fight its proper due. And in case you didn't see this fight, I'm going to talk about it, and it's out there on YouTube. And that was the lightweight title fight that took place this weekend between Brandon Rios and Miguel Acosta. You know, I get these names twisted. You know, pardon me when I'm saying my man's name wrong. But great fight. I'm telling y'all right now, it's still early, so I don't want to overstate the statement I'm about to say. But right now, this is the fight of the year. I mean, we still got a long way to go. Where are we at? We're in March right now. But that fight last Saturday was the fight of the so far the fight of the year in 2011. Now, Brandon Rios, you know, when the fight first started, you know, as they do their entrance walk-in, my man came out looking like Justin Bieber. I'll never say never. I thought he was going to walk into with the little mohawk. He got the gel all slicked up in his hair. That's not really a look that I would expect to see Brandon Rios in. But nevertheless, he had the mohawk and all that. Slim and trim. He was chiseled down from his last fight. You know, he came in his last fight looking like a super middleweight. But he looked big, but not out of shape. He was cut. He's a naturally big guy. But anyway, fight took place last Saturday night, Showtime. Miguel Acosta, tough customer. I think he got like 3 or maybe 4 losses. He's old. He's an older fighter, been around the block. Right off the top of my dome, I can't remember like his biggest fights to date. that he's been a part of. But the fight was nonstop action, back and forth, phone booth, you know, the way we like it. One of the things that I wanted to point out about Rios' game is he liked to fight what I like to call in that box, that square. And what I mean by that is Antonio Margarito, Miguel Cotto, like all these dudes, they all fight, and I'm in the southpaw stand because that's how, you know, that's how I hold my hands. They all fight in this square, like, you know, the square 1-2 combo to the, it's a 1-2 combo followed by the hook to the body, which is a traditional Mexican combination. Any Mexican gym around the world, I think that's the first probably combo that they run as a 1-2 followed by the hook to the body. But the same square that Margarito fights in is what Brandon Rios fight in. In case y'all don't remember Brandon Rios, some of our people out there, you know, this was the guy that was just the guy that was supposed to fight Anthony Peterson, the Peterson brother, about a year. I think it's been about a year, you know, a little under a year. And that's where he made his name at, his claim to fame by beating Anthony Peterson. I think he dropped Peterson a few times in the fight. And he kind of showed what he was about in that fight. Well, what happened was the fight when he fought on the undercard of the Pacquiao-Margarito fight, he looked a little bit out of shape. Again, he looked pudgy. He looked like he's like 3 weight classes north of where he belonged. Rest and behold, gathered himself back, looked good, bring me back to Saturday night. Acosta caught him with a sloppy but good timing right hand that wobbled Rios in the 3rd round of the fight, on the 3rd or 4th round of the fight. And Rios smiled, you know, the typical defense mechanism when you're really hurt, but you get a little grin like nothing wrong with you. Pacquiao, they tap the gloves and do this. Oscar used to do all that stuff too. But he was hurt by that right hand by Acosta, who can punch. He got like he hit like a mule. He punches like a mule, like Mike Tyson said some time ago. But again, it was nonstop action, and Rios just kept a ton of pressure on him. It probably wasn't the smartest way to fight a guy like that, but again, back to that Margarito factor. He don't mind taking 13 punches to get his 4 or 5 all. And that's just, you got to live and die with this guy. With Brandon Rios, which you're not going to get, you're not going to get feints. You know, you're not going to get precise accuracy like a Juan Manuel Marquez. You're not going to get that good staging from left to right, counter, misdirecting. You're not going to get that from him. You're not going to get shoulder roll and a whole bunch of head movement. You know, he's basically going to walk you down, kill or be killed. You know, let none die. You know what I mean? Like my man said on the infamous My V track. Kill none, let none die, whatever I go. But it was a great fight, back and forth. And, you know, Acosta, he was there. You know, he had a lot of moments in the fight. Again, that's because Brandon Rios was just allowing himself to get hit. But what he did in that fight, and I can't remember the particular round, shout out to the people on the board who remember, but he started to distance himself a little bit by flicking a jab out there. You know, it's the most simple punch in boxing, but it seems to be forgotten about. Boxers just don't use it. Soon as Brandon Rios started using his jab and giving himself the distance and giving himself some gap, some spacing. No, it's funny how it always come back to the sweet science. But he kind of confused Acosta. And what I liked about that is, you know, although I said he don't possess some of those things that I said, and that's not a bad thing because everybody don't have that, but he made an adjustment. The big A word. You know, he made an adjustment in the fight. I was really, really impressed with the adjustment that Brandon Rios made. Young kid, by the way, of Kansas City, now living in Oxnard, California, you know, with the big homie, ferocious Fernando Vargas. Yeah, ferocious is the big homie out in Oxnard. That's why it's the whole beef with Victor Ortiz and all that, because, you know, the big homie is the big homie. But I was impressed with Rios. Again, he made an adjustment, gave himself the distance with the jab, and it confused Acosta. And I think that's what won him the fight, ultimately. I think he would have probably prevailed in the end. But by him jabbing and making an adjustment, wasn't a major adjustment. I guess it was a major adjustment, because he ended up, the jab set up the knockout. You know, the fight ended up in a knockout. Acosta walked into a lobbing hook by Brandon Rios. So props to my dude Rios, victorious on Saturday night.
The lightweight division is popping again. Some potential names out there that's being talked about is Juan Manuel Lopez, Juan Manuel Marquez. So you see where I'm going with this. He has options. One thing that what I said on the last video is what we need. I don't care what nobody say. You need a Mexican star in boxing. He looks like he can be that. You need a guy that has personality. He definitely seems like he has that. You need somebody with heart. He definitely has that. So Brandon Rios, sky's the limit. He's talking about maybe even moving all the way up to 140. But we need a star, and we need more stars in boxing. And you know, the jury is still out on Brandon Rios, but right now I like what I'm seeing. Let's move on. Not a whole lot to talk about in this fight, but I have to cover it. Miguel Angel Cotto versus Ricardo Mayorga, March 12th. Showtime, y'all. Showtime is making a comeback. You know, Bob is over there, you know, showcasing his goods. So if you don't got Showtime, I think what y'all can do is call. This is what you do. Call Comcast and say you want to do a promote. You know, you want to be a part of a promotion. I think it's free for 6 months, and then call them back and say, you know what, never mind, I'm not interested. That's the route to get Showtime. A lot of people don't know that. You can call and get a promotion, and then after the 6 months, you can dead it. But Miguel Cotto versus Ricardo Mayorga. It's simple for me. I know Sleep think Mayorga has something left, but Mayorga hasn't been active enough. If this fight took place 2 years ago, I would give Mayorga a puncher's chance, only because I just think Miguel Cotto is in a bombshell right now of himself, but he's still got enough to beat a wild, straight come forward to Miguel Cotto. Not that Miguel Cotto is the most elusive person in the world, but he's 30 times the boxer that Ricardo Mayorga is. So, that being said, I got Miguel Cotto winning this fight. I want to say by knockout, but I'm going to just go with decision as my safe pick.